Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Norristown High School's Roosevelt Field for tonight's game between the Downingtown Whippets and the Norristown Eagles. My name is Joseph Hyland, and this promises to be a cracklingly good high school football game. My usual broadcast partners, Tom McGee and Bob Koch, are indisposed this evening, so it's going to be me flying alone, but we should be able to muddle through. Downingtown comes into the game 5-2, its last game being a 34-0 drubbing of Westchester East. As you will recall, Downingtown last year went 11-1 and went all the way to the district finals before losing to perennial state power Central Bucks West. The Whippets returned 4 men on offense and 4 men on defense from that very powerful squad. Downingtown is coached by Jack Helm, now in his 5th year. Helm is a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania, and prior to his tenure at Downingtown High School, he coached 5 years at Coatesville High School. Downingtown runs its offense out of a power I. There is, however, no one go-to tailback. Rather, Coach Helm likes to substitute freely at that position to keep fresh legs in the game. It is literally a tailback by a committee. The Downingtown offense is triggered by 165-pound junior quarterback Matt Helm, who is the coach's son. The Downingtown defense features a 4-3 set and is anchored by 2 legitimate Division I prospects in A.J. Mitchell, who has verbally committed to the University of Syracuse, and Brandon Darlington, who is being looked at by 6 or 7 Division I colleges. We might also look for linebackers Aaron Dyke and Chris Tagey to show up on defense, as well as safety James Van. They are key to the Whippets' defensive scheme. Downingtown is a traditional power in the Chestmont League, and this year is no exception. They bring to tonight's game speed, experience, a punishing defense, and most importantly, a winning tradition. And Norristown is going to have its hands full. Norristown also comes into this game 5-2. Coached by Roger Grove, the Eagles desperately need a win this evening. The Eagles, of course, are led by quarterback Ryan Blake, who is having a very fine season, completing over 50% of his passes for close to 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. The Eagles' ground game, of course, is anchored by the swift James Jacobs, number 22, who has already gobbled up over 1,000 yards rushing. The Eagles' defense will be spearheaded by sophomore sensation Jamal Blackwell, number 19, an outside linebacker with size, enthusiasm, speed, and a nose for the ball. So I look for a great high school football game this evening, matching Downingtown's power and Norristown's speed. It should be a very interesting game. Again, it is a must-win for both teams. The team that loses tonight will have 3 losses and probably will not make the playoffs. So that'll wrap up the pregame announcements, and we'll be back for the opening kickoff right after this break. Thank you.
tonight. Coming onto the field is Bobby Henning, his daughter Carla Jenkins, and his granddaughter Amanda. This is Bobby's last year as the groundskeeper here at Roosevelt Field, and we want to give a little goodbye present and thank him for 23 years of taking care of Roosevelt Field. Also, all of the middle school fields, it's his responsibility getting them ready for all the athletes. And I know personally, I've known him for a long time, and I'm really going to miss him down here because he always does his best to make sure that this field is ready for our athletes. Bobby, thanks for all the years.
Welcome back, everyone, to Roosevelt Field and tonight's game between the Norristown Eagles and the Downingtown Whippets. Downingtown just won the toss and elected to kick. Eagles will be receiving the ball, proceeding west to east. Look forward to tonight's game. As I indicated in the pregame show, this is a must game for both teams. Whichever team loses this evening will have 3 losses, and it'll be very difficult for a team with 3 losses to even to sneak into the District 1 playoffs. As anyone who follows high school football in this area knows, Downingtown is perennially strong. And now we're going to stand for the playing of the national anthem. All right, congratulations to the gallant little Norristown band who gave a fine rendition of our national anthem. A very important song these days, as I'm sure everyone would agree. Norristown kicking team is taking the field. Downingtown still in its pregame huddle, breaking same and proceeding on to the field. Kicking off for Downingtown will be number 26, Joe Hughes. Deep for Norristown is number 1, Brad Baker, and number 22, James Jacobs. Kickoff skitters out of bounds around the 10-yard line. It'll be Norristown's ball. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. This game will present a study in contrast. The Eagles will need and be using speed and finesse, trying to neutralize the raw power and strength of the Downingtown Whippets. Number 13 is Ryan Blake, the field general for the Eagles, calling the play. I formation. There's a handoff to James Jacobs. He's smothered by a wall of tacklers led by number 78, A.J. Mitchell. We mentioned A.J. Mitchell in the pregame show. He is a legitimate Division I prospect. Indeed, he has verbally committed to the University of Syracuse in the Big East. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Split backfield. Blake is blitzed and sacked by number 34, Chris Tagey. Another young man we mentioned in the pregame show. He is a linebacker, quick, fast, speedy, mobile, agile, and hostile, as Bear Bryant used to say about his linebacker. Third and 15, a passing situation. I formation. Draw play to Jacobs, gets maybe a yard, maybe 2. There's a fumble on the play, and Downingtown recovers.
Fumble on the play, recovered by Downingtown.
At the Norristown 10-yard line, a great opportunity for Downingtown to jump off to an early lead.
From inside.
Here's the Downingtown offense for the first time. Triggered by Matt Helm, number 12, a junior. Number 31, Aaron Dykes, the Downingtown tailback, picked up maybe a yard. 2nd and 9.
Stopped by Thompson and Blackwell.
Downingtown, split backfield. Sweep around left end, and that's a touchdown for number 28, Dave Wilkerson. Took advantage of a collapsing right side of the Norristown defensive line, scooted around left end, skidded into the end zone. Downingtown scores first, draws first blood. Kicking the extra point, or attempting the extra point for Downingtown, is Joe Hughes. Good snap. Whistles on the play. Illegal procedure on Downingtown. One of the offensive linemen was not set prior to the snap. Hughes will attempt from the 15-yard line. That'll be a 25-yard extra point. Snap from center is good. The kick is good. Downingtown jumps off to an early 7-0 lead with 9 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. Not a very good start for Norristown. Not a very good start at all. That defensive stand was almost listless. All right, deep for Norristown will be James Jacobs and Brad Baker on the receiving team. Downingtown still in its pre-kickoff huddle. Tonight's officials are referee Bill McKeevitz, umpire is Paul Walzak, head linesman is Bob Green, the line judge is Mike Nolan, the back judge will be Frank Vidion. Here's an interesting development. The kicker is setting up the ball on the left hash mark. Interesting kickoff arrangement. Whippets are lined up. Jacobs and Baker deep. Nice kick end over end taken by Jacobs at the 15. There's an open. Jacobs almost broke it, punched it out to about the 43-yard line. Jacobs is an exciting runner. Saw a little seam in the coverage, broke through. Excellent field position for the Eagles at their own 43-yard line. That should pick the team up. Hopefully it does. Here comes Norristown. Ryan Blake over center. They set up in an I formation. Jacobs the deep back in the I. Here's Blake back to pass. Jacobs in the right flat. Picks up about 4 to 5 yards. Little swing pass out to the right flat. Second down, 4 yards to go. Norristown again comes out in the classic I formation. Blake could be audibling. Hand off to Jacobs, and he's met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Gained maybe a yard. The defensive charge was led by number 78, again, A.J. Mitchell. We're going to be calling that name, I think, a lot this evening. He's a very active young man, a very big young man, 6'3", 298 pounds.
35.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Split right is Jake Williams. Ryan Blake over the ball. Norristown in a split backfield. Williams in motion. There's a pass to number 1. Baker, hook pattern, gained about 15 yards, first down and 10 yards to go at the Downingtown 44-yard line. Blake rolled right, rifled the ball, nice throw, well executed play. Norristown in a split backfield. Jake Williams again in motion. Pitch to number 32, the fullback, Jason Thompson. The last broadcast we did, as you will recall from Roosevelt Field against Quakertown, Thompson had a magnificent game, both on offense and on defense. We'll be speaking about that game later on in the broadcast. Jake Williams split wide to the right. Blake over center. Norristown in a split backfield. Picked off by number 29, and I think that's James Van. That's James Van, their all-conference safety. Anticipated beautifully, and the 6'2", 180-pound defensive back stepped into the passing lane, picked it off, and went untouched into the end zone. And it does not look good for Norristown this evening so far. Again, it's early in the midway through the first quarter, but Downingtown's making it look remarkably easy. Here's Joe Hughes for the extra point. Snap from center is good. Placement through the uprights. With 7 minutes left to play, Downingtown 14, Norristown nothing. I don't know what happened there, if maybe Blake telegraphed his pass, but maybe you have to give the Downingtown defensive backfield credit. That was a very alert, very sharp play by Van. And as soon as he picked the ball off, he had 60 yards of grass in front of him and basically walked into the end zone. Jacobs and Baker back deep for Norristown. Hughes again will set up the ball on the left hash mark. Terrific play by the safety number 29, James Van. We were advised to watch that young man play. The advice was correct. Kickoff to the right side of the field. Richardson picks it up, struggles for about 5 yards. Ball was down. Ball came loose, but the ball was down. Ball carrier's knee hit the ground prior to the fumble. Norristown's ball at the 25-yard line. It's a beautiful night here at Roosevelt Field. Cool, crisp. Nice night to come out and enjoy a football game. Unfortunately, the crowd is not as large as it was at the Quakertown game. Of course, that was homecoming. Here's Blake over center, Norristown in the eye. Pitch to Jacobs, sweeping to his right. Play is stopped. Number 29 disrupted the interference, the blocking scheme for Norristown. 29's a bit of a player. James Van. Great size, great speed, and a nose for the ball. Can't ask for much more than that in a safety. Second down, 11 yards to go. Jacobs lost a yard on the play. Norristown in a split backfield. Jacobs scooting around right end. Tackled for no gain. In on the play was number 34, Chris Tagey, a defensive stalwart for the Whippets. Third down, 11 yards to go. Norristown has got to get something started here. Norristown, Blake over center. Norristown again in that I formation. Blake rolling to his left, little pitch. Pass did not reach the intended receiver, number 32, Jason Thompson, in the left flat. It's 4th down and 10 yards to go. Kicking situation for Norristown. Number 11, Kyle Williams, kicking for Norristown. Downingtown has a lone safety back. Low snap, nice kick, gets it away. Picked up by number 21, dodges a tackler down the right side. It looks like he could go all the way, cuts back, finally tackled at the 20-yard line. Gabriel Wilson on that return, scooted about 35 to 40 yards. First down for Downingtown on the Norristown 20-yard line. Downingtown's threatening again. Single back in the backfield. Number 22 in motion. There's a handoff to number 21, Zach Boyd. Tackled by number 5, Blaine Pierce. There was a gain of 4 yards on that play. 2nd down and 6. Norristown needs a stop here. They must stop Downingtown from scoring either a field goal or a touchdown. Helm over the ball. Hand off to number 31. Plunges for about 2 yards. That's Aaron Dykes, a 5'11", 218-pound running back. Low, squat, powerful runner. Hard to bring down. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Single back, Omar Mohammed behind the quarterback. Helm over the ball. Penalty flag. Delay of the game. That'll set back the Whippets 5 yards. They took too long to get the play off. Helm is a remarkably accurate passer. He's completed 53 of the 79 passes that he's made. Very high percentage for a high school quarterback. Helm over the ball, single back. Rolling to his right, looking, being blitzed, gets away, dodges one, still dodges. Great play by quarterback Matt Helm. Norristown was on a blitz. He evaded a number of Norristown tacklers to pull victory from the jaws of defeat. At least 4 Norristown defensive players had a shot at Helm, but he skittered through the defense and picked up a substantial amount of yardage. Down to the 10-yard line. Nice play by the junior quarterback. They're going to measure for the first down. I think Helm got it. He did by the nose of the ball, but first down at the 10-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. from just outside the 10. I'm sorry, it's 1st and goal. The ball must be inside the 10. Helm hands off to number 28. That's Dave Wilkerson. On a classic sweep, picked up about 7 yards down to the 3-yard line. Downingtown is 3 yards away from making this a first quarter route. Interesting formation. Everybody's packed in. Number 31 gets the handoff. That's Aaron Dykes. Plunges, literally plunges to about the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. Interesting formation. Everybody was packed in. Looked like a blue and white turtle out there. Never seen a formation like that. Here's Dyke. Plunges in for the score from about 1 yard out. Aaron Dyke, the leading rusher for the Whippets. Aaron Dykes plunges for the 1-yard touchdown. Here's Hughes for the extra point. Helm holding. Snap from center is good. Placement is down. Kick is perfect. With a little over 2 minutes to play, Downingtown has raced off to a 21-0 lead, and the Norristown sideline looks as if it had the wind knocked out of its sails, and it probably is. It probably has been. Downingtown with a 21 first quarter blitz. Norristown looks a bit stunned, a bit ragged. And it appears that Downingtown is everything that the pundits say it is. It's strong, powerful, fast. Aaron Dykes is, of course, their leading rusher. He has picked up, coming into tonight's game, he's picked up 625 yards on 96 carries and 8 touchdowns. 21-0. Hughes to kick off for the Eagles. For the Whippets. Again from the left hash mark. Jacobs and Brad Baker deep for the Eagles, who need a big play quickly, or else this game could turn very, very ugly. The kick went over the head of Brad Baker, through the end zone, touchback. Norristown will take over on its own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. All right, we'll see what kind of character Norristown has, if they can come back from this this hole that they've dug themselves in. Blake over the ball. Richardson, the lone back. 2 receivers split wide to the right. Blake back to pass. Overthrows his receiver, number 22, James Jacobs. Jacobs was cutting in. The ball was thrown to his outside shoulder. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. There's a penalty flag on Norristown. Illegal receiver downfield. And when it rains, it pours. Illegal receiver downfield against Norristown. The penalty is declined. That tells you that Downingtown has enough confidence that they can afford to give up basically a five yards. Downingtown is a big squad, physically huge young men across that front line. They're just dominating the battle in the trenches here. There's a draw play, handoff to Richardson, struggles outside, brought down by 3 Downingtown tacklers, led by number 90. That would be Justin March, a 6'1", 223-pound defensive end. He's a senior. Some big boys. Downingtown has some very large young men out there. Not only large, but they're fast, they're quick. They're bottling up Norristown very, very effectively. Here's Richardson, the only back. Jacob split wide to the left. There's a pass intended for number 1, Brad Baker, on a fly pattern. Ball was overthrown. It will be 4th down and 7, a punting situation for Norristown. Number 28. Back for the Whippets is Dave Wilkerson, a junior, a running back, 5'10", 152 pounds, a scat back. Mercury quick, though. Number 28 picks it up. It goes, nice tackle. Nice open field tackle by number 77 for the Eagles. Number 77 for the Eagles, Steve Hardknock. Nice play. Nice open field tackle on a very, very slippery, very, very clever runner in Dave Wilkerson. Here comes Downingtown, 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 44-yard line. Single setback, handoff to Dykes. Dykes plunges ahead for about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Aaron Dykes picked up 5 yards, and again, as we mentioned in the pregame show, Downingtown runs the tailback position by committee, shuffling in one excellent runner after another. Here's a deep handoff to number 28, Wilkerson, sweeping left. Norristown, excellent pursuit, knocked down by number 40, Danny Lester. Danny Lester, a linebacker, followed that play very well, fought off the interference, brought down Wilkerson. Dykes back into the game. 3rd down and 4. Downingtown has called timeout. I'm sorry. That's the end of the first quarter, with Downingtown leading the Norristown Eagles 21 to nothing.